going to an international was, you know, a golden ticket back then, wasn't it? Wearing the number 10 jersey against England. Yeah, it was something you always dream of, you know. But for the first time in a long time, Wales had a bit of front football. It was a brutal tour. Why didn't you just F off back to the lower leagues where you belong? Not to have any rugby in Swansea, the second biggest city, and the hearts being ripped out of the town, like, you know. That's what helped me as a young player coming through, and that's probably what the young players haven't got now, have they?
Right, it's with great pleasure. I welcome, I have to say these two sides first, Aberafan, Meath, Ospreys, Wales, British Lions, outer half, James Hook. James, how are you? Good?
All good, thanks, Jeff. Yeah,
All
thanks
good.
for having me on, mate.
Good, no, pleasure. So we'll just start off, right? I'm going to go early career and then, you know, just through the ranks then, okay? So you're a proud Port Talbot boy, that's why I have to mention Aberafan at the start, right? What was it like growing up in, Port Talbot area?
Oh, yeah, I rugby mad. I started playing rugby when I was 5 years old. I've got an older brother, 2 years older, and younger sister, she's 2 years younger, and I just played alongside my eldest brother, really. And tackling starts at the age of 9 now, but back then you could tackle, you know, from day dot,
only,
like,
only
you know.
If you wanted to.
Only if you wanted to do it, yeah. Not saying I did tackle, but yeah.
No me.
But like, I was 5, and I played in my brother's under-8s team for Aberafan Quins, and I was tiny, obviously, compared to the other boys, and our coach, Di Braga, used to chuck me on for the last couple of minutes. My kit was drowning me, and just loved playing with the older boys there. And obviously, when it came to my own age group, then
What was your club?
Aberafan Quins.
Aberafan
Quins, yeah.
The opposition is Green Stars, isn't it?
So you got Aberafan Quins, you got Aberafan Green Stars down there, you got Tyback down there. There's a fair few clubs in Port Talbot, Baglan as well.
Did your dad play at all?
Not rugby, no. He played a little bit of football.
That's what I was thinking. Like, you know, Port Talbot's a big football town.
Yeah, it is.
You know, Welsh League and all that.
Yeah. And, you know, growing up, I played rugby and football, really. But rugby was my main passion, like, you know, and I absolutely loved it.
And tell me, a lot of people are surprised at this. What position did you play till the age of 17, was it?
Yeah, I played scrum half until the age of 17, yeah. So, yeah, played for Aberafan Quins until the age of sort of 12, and then went to Aberafan Juniors then, and played for Aberafan Juniors until right through till youth rugby. And youth rugby was 3 years back then. It's only 2 years now. So when I got to my third and final year of youth, all the older boys had moved on and got to senior rugby. So I didn't have a youth team, really. I played for Tyback for a little bit, scratching about for the club, really. Played for Meath Athletic for a little bit. Yeah. And then I ended up playing for British Steel senior rugby. So senior rugby in my last year of youth, really, because basically all those boys playing for British Steel.
And you played outside half then?
Moved to outside half then, so...
God, so you played for them straight away, played scrum half all your career, and then all of a sudden, within 1 year, you've gone outside half and played for, like, senior side.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was mad. And playing, you know, as a sort of 17, 18-year-old, playing with men, you know, I was different. And it was Mike Barnett, the Aberafan youth coach, who moved me from scrum half to outside half, like, because I loved kicking the ball, loved goal kicking, loved just kicking the ball in general. He said, stop kicking the ball, okay? And so in the end, he moved from 9 to 10.
You'd have been a big scrum half now, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I suppose, yeah, compared to...
You like your fellows on the dog.
Yeah, I know.
That would have been really interesting. Really interesting. So, what's your earliest childhood memory, you know, rugby that you went to see or international? Anything stick out?
I remember, you know, I didn't go to too many internationals yet. Going to an international was, you know, a golden ticket back then, wasn't it? You were lucky to go to an international. So I watched loads, you know, watch yourself, Jeff, on TV, and, you know, like I say, I was scrum half, so I loved Robert Jones. Grew up sort of idolising him. Yeah, Ian Evans. You know, me and my brother used to watch the Return of the Dragon. Remember? Was that 80?
88.
88. Obviously, it was a great championship, and then obviously lost to the French in the end. So we used to play and repeat all the time.
No, yeah, they were good days. They were. I think everyone played. I think rugby was different. It was more open. It's a lot more structured, and obviously, you know, it's far more technical. As you know, it's with a defence in place and nutrition and weight and strength and conditioning coaches have got a big say in the game now, haven't they?
Oh, they have huge say. Flipping heck, you know, they dictate a lot of it, really, doesn't they? You know, GPS units and stuff, which you never had back in the day, but. Yeah, you know, it was a lot more simple. And for a 10, you know, you'd have your starter play, and then after that, it's
full back,
whatever happens. Yeah.
So where did your big break come then? Like in the first step up to first class.
So after I played for British Steel for about a season and a half, I was around the sort of Ospreys academy, and I was playing with Neath. So I played
right.
2 years with Neath, and we had a great team, and regional rugby was thriving then, you know, and you had good regional players dropping down, playing for Neath, Swansea, Aberafon,
Yeah.
Bridgend, and I was fortunate to be in that Neath team, and you know, you had Arwell Thomas, you know, playing alongside me. Obviously, he dropped down from playing for Wales. Mevin Davies, remember when the Warriors went, he couldn't find a club, so he was playing for Neath while still playing for Wales, like which was
That's
nuts.
crazy,
I know.
That's good for the youngsters, isn't it?
Oh, brilliant! I like as a 18, 19-year-old playing with these boys
know.
was brilliant. You know, and Roland Phillips, Patrick Hogan, big influence on my career as well as coaches. And then, yeah, to answer your question, where my break came from was at the end of my second season with Neath. I wasn't playing for Neath this particular day, and I was watching them. I think it was up in Bedwas or Cross Keys, I can't remember now. And I had a phone call off Alan Phillips, and he said, "Look, okay, you've been selected for the Welsh tour to Argentina in the summer." Like, you know, I was like, "You got to be joking! I haven't started for the Ospreys yet." Like, you know,
That's amazing.
and he was like, "Yeah, no, Gareth Jenkins, Nigel Davies, they've watched you an awful lot this season, and you've been selected." Like, you just need that bit of confidence from a coach, don't you? You know Jeff as well, and I just felt 10 foot tall, you know, just when I was selected. And
that's a brilliant kind of leg up for you, really. You know? Not having actually kind of broken into anything serious, and then all of a sudden you have a call off the Welsh selectors.
Yeah, and I remember Nigel Davies, you know, first meeting in the Vale just before we left to go to Argentina. He said, "Look, okay, you were picked on this tour to play, like, you know, not just coming to older pads and gain a bit of experience. Oh, you are going to gain experience, obviously, but you're going to play." And true to his word, I was on the bench for the first test, came on and started the second test, which was amazing.
That's a hell of a rise, isn't it?
It is. And don't get me wrong, there was a couple of key boys missing, like obviously Stephen Jones, frontliner. Martin Williams was left back home. I think Gareth Thomas, you know, a couple of frontline players, but it was still quality. Like Shane Went, you know, Duncan Jones, Mark Jones, obviously current Ospreys coach. He was my first roommate there. You know, there was a lot of good quality players there, and I loved it. And it's like a drug in there. You just want more, don't you?
I think the first time we met, didn't we? We did something about Dirty Sanchez, didn't we?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, done and all.
Oh, done and all. That's
that was, yeah. I don't know if we could show that on TV.
Know, I think we can, yeah. I think you were kicking the ball into Matt Pritchard's backside.
That's it, yeah.
I know, I was incredible. So once you got into the kind of the region with the Ospreys, right? What are your fondest memories of playing for them?
Oh, again, like, you know, so after, and Lynn was great with me as well, and Sean Ollie as coaches with the Ospreys, because they could have quite easily have gone, right, look, he's had his first cap in the summer now in 2006, we'll just chuck him straight into the team. But like, we still had Sean Connor, Henson, Matthew Jones, so young outside half coming through, you know, still a lot of quality there. So he made me sort of work for those starts.
But that's what you need, isn't it? You know, you look at regions sometimes today, and there's a lack of competitive element in those positions, isn't it? Because once you know you're going to be in most weeks, and maybe not on top of your game then.
No, exactly, and you know, the competition, the depth, you know, 2-3 deep in every position at that time, and then everyone knows about the players that sort of came in. You speak about the Welsh players like, you know, Adam Jones, Duncan Jones, Jonathan Thomas, Ryan Jones, Tipbrick, you know. Yeah, that's just a forward, you know, Mike Phillips, Shane Williams, Lee Byrne, and then you speak about the overseas boys, Jerry Collins, Philo Tiatia, Marty Holler, Stefan Tablanche, Ricky January. This is it's like a World 15, you know.
So, you know, you talk about, you know, the Galacticos, and that was like all the best homebred players, you know, and then good overseas players.
Yeah.
What was it like playing for the Galacticos? You know, was there an expectation on you to be kind of spectacular to play, or, you know, to win things?
To win, 100%. And we did. We won, was it 3-4 league titles? Yeah. And it was amazing being in a team. You took it for granted. You know, I probably did a little bit, being a young 21-year-old, just expecting to win every week, whether you're home or away. Yeah. And we usually did. But then Europe was the one where we should have done better. We, you know, 3 quarterfinals. We never got past a quarterfinal. You look at that squad and you think, you know,
was it Biarritz was a big one, wasn't it?
Biarritz, yeah. Well, that was our best chance, because if we'd have won that game, we'd been back home in Cardiff in the Millennium Stadium against Munster, probably.
I know, and
the final was in Cardiff.
And you wouldn't worry about them because you played against them in the League.
Yeah, and we'd beaten them, you know, so many times as well. And I think it was one. I think the referee put his arm out for a penalty. I think Biggs went for a drop goal, missed the drop goal, and then he put his arm down. And if that goes over, we win the game. But
I know. The most successful team I ever played with were where we were really close and good friends.
Yeah.
It really looked that you were all brilliant mates in that kind of Osprey side.
Oh, we were. Yeah, we were. You know, it's like it was still, you sort of still crossing over from that sort of old school
Yeah.
sort of mentality as well. So
Yeah.
we'd always, we'd always have a shirt and jeans in the bottom of the kit bag. You know what I mean? Because we, like I say, we were used to winning.
Yeah.
So we'd be winning, and then we'd go out and have a couple of beers all together, and we all stick together nice and tight. And it was great. It was playing with your mates.
Yeah, it's good fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
What about who's your roommate? Do you have one roommate, or do you have to swap and change?
We mixed it up a bit, but usually, I don't know what it was like with you, Jeff, but like we had half backs together, so it was usually with Mike Phillips, Justin Marshall, and these sort of boys, really.
Yeah, and do you have a car share with anyone at all? You know, do you travel to training all the time with the same guy, or what was it like?
No, I was living in Neath for a while with the Ospreys, then I moved to Mumble, so yeah, we just drove ourselves, you know, to the Ospreys training. If we got up with Wales, you know, we jump in with a couple of the boys like Alan Wynne, who was close now and again, but usually the boys just tended to.
You had some characters there, mind you.
Oh, we had some beauties,
Got any stories about the character? Well, you had in the backs, you had Shane, Mikey Phil, you, Bernie.
Yeah.
That's just the backs, isn't it?
Yeah.
And your forward, you had JT in there. Oh, there's a few characters in there, weren't there?
Oh, yeah. We mentioned Mike. You know, Mike was brilliant. Like, so confident. Like, you know, you need characters like that as well who go onto the pitch and believe he's the best in the world. And probably, I'd say 2009, 10, 11, he probably was the best scrum half in the world, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Mike Phillips.
He was,
and I remember the 2015 World Cup. It was Gatlin, who basically when you get selected for the World Cup squad, he usually gets something off the unions to congratulate you. But I think Gatlin said, "Look, boys, you get each other something for this particular World Cup." And there's 33 players in the squad, so I think some of the boys tapped into their sponsors and got a couple of different presents for the boys. Mike Phillips got 33 signed photos himself for every player. That's a conference for the boy, isn't it?
That says it all. So moving on to your Wales career, you said you were called up surprisingly to go Argentina. So how did you find out you're on the bench for the first one, you said?
Yeah.
Did you get on for that one then?
So I got on for that one. Got on for about 20, 25 minutes, I think it was, and scored a try. And yeah, I was sat on the bench, like I say, and started for the Ospreys. I was just happy to be here, Jeff. I was kept looking at my socks and just thinking I got these, this Welsh kit on, and then, like I say, just the feeling they had and the confidence they had from the coaches was amazing. Like I say, when I got on the pitch first game, went all right, and started the second game at 12. Against, I mentioned Contepomi. Contepomi was playing for Argentina there, and after the game, I remember going up and asking him to swap jerseys. He knew it was my first tour, and he said, "Look, you keep your jersey, you can have all my kit." And I did gentleman.
That too. The Scottish shouted after gives me Care, Andy Care, I think his name was. I gave him my jersey first time. It was important, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it was, and it meant so much to me. And I played against Contepomi a fair bit, obviously with the Ospreys against Leinster as well, and an absolute gentleman, and obviously doing well with the coaching, isn't he?
Who did you tell first when you had the cap?
I told my parents and my grandparents. My grandparents were a massive influence on my career as well as my parents, and I used to ring my grandparents up. It started in school, there's no mobile phones. I was in school, so on a payphone. So if we had a school game, I used to run out at lunchtime and tell my grandparents where the game was, or where the team was and stuff. And then I don't know, it was probably a bit of a traditional habit, before every game, and I just ring them up and have a little chat about the game. And
bit of superstition.
A bit of a superstition. That's it. Right.
So what was your fondest memory in a Welsh jersey?
I think 2007 or 2008 against England. Both those games were pretty special. So the 2007 one was, I played 12 all that campaign. Stephen Jones played 10. And I remember the last but one game at Six Nations, we played Italy, and we lost out with Italy. And then, but obviously we said we can go to the corner. Yeah. We had time to go for the corner for touch.
I was commentating on, that was a kind of a weird...
It was strange, wasn't it?
That must have been... I tell you what, you watch things like that happen, and there's just such a massive error, I know, it had to be the referee's decision and the referee's mistake, but, that must have been absolutely so deflating.
Yeah.
To work so hard, and then just have the one last opportunity taken away from you.
Yeah, well, we could have knocked the 3 points over and drawn the game, but we felt we had enough to score and win. I remember Chris White was a referee, and myself and Alfie asked, "Have we got time to go for the line out?" Yeah. He said we had time, and then in the time I kicked the touch, the TMO would come in and gone, time's up. But like, what he should have done is
Well,
just gone.
I heard that. Yeah, you got to go for the corner, and all of a sudden, I was surprised anyone else because we got the referee's mic and the TMO, and all of a sudden he said it's all over.
Yeah, he said it's all over. What he should have done is gone, look, I've told him to go to touch and let it play. But it all erupted and then.
I know.
Yeah, but basically after that game then, we'd lost every game and we had to beat England in the last game to avoid a wooden spoon. They were coming down for the championship. And in that game against Italy, Steve got injured. So it was my first start at 10 in the Six Nations. And yeah, it was something you always dream of, growing up, you're probably the same, Jeff. You think of wearing the number 10 jersey against England. And you almost dream the perfect game all week in your head, and it happened like pretty much like I wanted to, which does not always happen in games. So
it doesn't happen.
Yeah, and at a full house, and yeah, it was just, even though we'd only avoided a wooden spoon, the stadium and the atmosphere was electric.
Winning any international is a big result, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It doesn't matter. You could go on a run of 12, or as we've done a run of like 12 defeats, but you win and it's still amazing. It doesn't matter what game it is. So what I got to ask, you played you're such a great utility, mainly 12. You played outside centre as well, didn't you? And you played full back, right? So did you? Which position did you prefer to play, right, for Wales? And then, do you think being such a versatile player kind of hindered your kind of internationals? Oh, you had like over 80 caps, didn't you?
Yeah, 81.
81 caps, that's amazing. Like with the versatility that you had as well, just to be consistently picked, to cover everything. And you still had 83 caps. I find that amazing.
Yeah. When I get asked that question, Jeff, I always go back to 2011 Six Nations. It probably sums up my career in terms of position-wise. Like, first game, I started against England at 15. And to answer your question, 10 was probably my favourite position. 10 or 12. I enjoyed 12 with the Ospreys as well. And in the second game of that Six Nations, we played up in Murrayfield against Scotland, and I was picked at 10. And we had some good boys challenging for that 10 jersey. Priestland was coming through. Bigger was coming through. So obviously, Stephen Jones was still there. Quality outside halves. And I thought, right, good opportunity to go up there and try and nail his 10 jersey down. And it went well up there. We beat Scotland up there. Kicked my goal, sort of had a solid game.
That's what you're doing, eh?
Yeah, exactly. But then after that game, Foxy went down injured. And I remember Rob Howley grabbed me in the hotel in the Vale and going, okay, you've gone well up in Murrayfield. Foxy's gone down. You've got to start 13 now against Italy. And I won my 50th cap that day. And then played 13 against Italy, played 13 against Ireland, and then was moved back to 10 against France. So, that Six Nations pretty much sums up the positions I played, really. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's the way it goes. And it probably was a help, rather than a hindrance, because it allowed me to, I suppose, go on World Cups and go on Lions tours, because you can sort of fill the gaps, but it probably wasn't ideal at times either, was it?
No. Who's your kind of favourite centre to play alongside?
Oh, you think, more recent to when I finished, Jamie Roberts, John and Davies were an incredible centre partnership, but around my time of playing with the Ospreys in Wales, Henson was incredible. Sonny Parker, like Andrew Bishop was a rock,
player.
Solid player. So yeah, those sort of boys. But like Gav was an unbelievable talent.
But you've got, if you ask all most of the Welsh players who's most talented, they'll either say you or Gav, right? So did you enjoy playing with him, or could you kind of switch into his train of thought?
Oh yeah, I love. He could play now and be really successful in the centre, because he could run over the top of people. He was a big bloke. His skills, his passing, he can kick a ball a mile. His spiral kick for goal, and such an intelligent rugby player. He thought deeply about the game, and as a young 10, like Justin Marshall and Mike Phillips playing inside me, but you had Gav then outside who didn't stop talking, didn't stop reading the picture in front of you, and just helped me so much, So
another one you played with Scott Williams, isn't it?
Scott Williams, yeah.
So do you still keep in touch, because they're all different, aren't they? All those blokes you mentioned are all so different. Do you still stay in touch with all of them? Yeah,
I do. Yeah. Scott, another incredible player, and then we obviously scored that try up in Twickenham. Actually, I missed that game. I was due to be on the bench and caught chicken pox off my boy. So I came over. I was playing in France at the time. I came over to the hotel in London, and the doctor said, "Oh, look, England team sort of found out you had chicken pox, so they're not letting you play." So I had to fly straight back that night to France. But anyway, Scott, who scored that try He's brilliant, Scott. He's a great bloke, and obviously towards the end of my Ospreys career, he was in the Ospreys, and I know he's coaching now, Scott. He'd make a great coach. He's another sort of big thinker around the game and intelligent.
Wasn't there an incident in the pool somewhere?
Yeah, I think it was Scott's. I think it was Scott's birthday. I think he had a party around his house, a lovely place up in Llanelli and Five Roads, and yeah, me, Kim, my wife, and my 3 boys, and my youngest boy must have been about, I think, 2 at the time, and Scott's got a big, nice swimming pool out the back. It was a lovely day, and we turned up probably, I don't know, about half hour late than everyone else. So everyone's standing around by the swimming pool, and my boys are like a box of frogs. As soon as they see a pool,
I know them, they're mad. They're busy, innit?
Oh, busy, yeah, that's one way of putting it. Aye. But my eldest boy and my middle boy was straight in, shorts on, straight in the pool. My youngest boy, he's only 2, he can't swim. He goes straight in after them as well, straight in the deep end. And literally, I've just walked through the door, I'm fully clothed, phone in my pocket, and I have to dive straight in the pool, straight after him to drag him back up. Oh my God, and that was my entrance into his party. So I had to take my phone and put in a flipping bowl of rice.
It's all about parenting, all about parenting, that's what it's like. So, looking at the current crop of 10s, right? How do you feel about them? Because, there's some good players. You got Jared, Callum Sheedy, Sam Costello, and Dan. Right?
Yeah.
You've been picked. You're lucky you've been picked in all different positions. But as a 10, they are specifically 10, right? Is it difficult, to pick one out of those because the regions are like struggling a little bit, or Dan's had his run a little bit now. Sam played well on Saturday first, I think got injured, and Callum's going well for Cardiff.
Yeah.
So they're all kind of showing a lot of talent. But where do you see, should one be picked and given a run of games, or should be picked on form for the regions?
Yeah, well, I think you've got to pick on form, but it's. Like you said, I agree with you. Sam played really well. It's a shame he got injured. But for the first time in a long time, Wales had a bit of front foot ball, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, yeah.
And as you know, Jeff, having that platform in front of you. We look at France now with Jalibert. Oh, she's an incredible
Ramos just stepped in.
Yeah.
Behind that pack.
Yeah, exactly. So it makes a heck of a difference, doesn't it? So, it'd be interesting to see what sort of game Dan would have had on Saturday. But I think all those players you mentioned then are really good players, but it's just a shame the last couple of years they're playing on the back foot, and it's like Jeff, 9 and 10 when the game's lost. They usually get the blame, don't they?
It's hard work. Well, I think we discussed this before. Someone asked us, what about the young Sasha coming through for South Africa? Yeah. How can you not play well being a South African pack?
Yeah, exactly.
He is an exquisite talent, isn't he?
Yeah.
So, but what's his full name now? Sasha
Gomazulu, is it?
Sasha Gomazulu. He had 3 weeks in Llandovery's College.
He did.
You should have nabbed him there.
Yeah, you should have, right.
But he's 6'4", right?
Yeah.
Boots, the big massive boot. He's quick as well.
Yeah.
I'm playing behind that pack. He's going to be maybe regarded as maybe one of the best ever.
Oh yeah. Well, if he keeps going like he is, he's a joy to watch. And again, you mentioned about someone like Gav. That Sasha is exactly the same, and he can literally do it all. He's a big, strong boy, and probably with us as 10, we're not blessed with big 10s, are we? But that's something he's got on his side as well, his size, isn't it?
Yeah. Did you enjoy your Lions tours?
Yeah. Well, 2009 I went. That was the tour I went on, and it's brilliant. It was brilliant. Yeah, and it was a bit of a roller coaster really in terms of the selection because, like I mentioned, the Ospreys squad. Like at the time, we had so many Lions selected, and it was the first time they named that Lions squad the same time as everyone else found out. So we didn't get a letter. So we knew it was like 11 o'clock on. I think it was a Thursday, and we were training up the Vale actually, ready for a European game, and we knew the selection was like 11 o'clock, halfway through our training session. So Sean Ollie, halfway through the session, stopped the session and said, "Look, read the names out." And I knew on that tour if it had taken 3 10s. I'd have gone, but if we were going to go 2 10s, I knew Stephen Jones and O'Gara were almost nailed on.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. They took 2 10s. So I think it was myself, Ryan Jones, Henson, who were on the cusp, who didn't make it. And then you had boys, like I said, a big contingent, Adam Jones, Alan Wynne Jones, Tommy Bowe was with us at the time, Mike Phillips, Lee Burns, Shane Williams. These boys were selected. So like, you just gutted at that moment, because you dream of playing for Wales, but then you dream of playing for the Lions, didn't you? But then, a couple of weeks later, I was due to go to America on the Saturday, and on the Friday, I was out for food with Kim and the family for her birthday. And my phone
that's usually big family affair, let me tell you.
Yeah, it is.
Because we both know the grandfather, Kim's dad, very well. So we better mention him, Tash. So he'll watch us now.
Exactly. He will watch it now.
It's usually a big affair.
Oh well, he enjoyed this night because the phone was going in my pocket, and I was like, I won't answer it now. I'll leave it. And he rang again. Looked, it didn't recognise the number, so I better slip aside and go and answer it. And it was Ian McGeechan, and he was like, look, okay, we want to select you for the Lions. Can you join us in London tomorrow? Go to South Africa on Sunday. And I was like, oh no, you left me out now, no chance. But no, I was chuffed.
How did that go? Someone got injured, I suppose.
So Halfpenny I think he had a little bump or so. Yeah. He didn't sort of leave the tour party, but he had a knock, so there was a bit of doubt over him. So yeah, they called me up, for the start of the tour, and I went back to the table and told Kim and Tash. Yeah. Tash got up. He was skipping around Crew 42 in Mumbles. He was loving life.
He's mad. Yeah. Did you enjoy the tour?
Oh, I loved it. And like I say, we left on the Sunday, and I was involved in, I think, 7 out of the 10 games on the tour. So, again, because of my versatility, it probably helped me play a big part in the tour. And it was a brutal tour. Obviously we lost the series 2-1, but, South Africa at that time had some big blokes.
I think I was at the Pretoria one when Adam got injured.
Yeah, that's right. He did a shoulder, didn't he?
Yeah, and then I think O'Gara kind of missed touch and missed a tackle at the end, and it was, I think it's one of the most ferocious games I've ever seen, I think, to be honest. But what a great experience. It's coming from someone like Port Talbot, playing for the Ospreys, loads of Ospreys playing for Wales. What was it like then going into that environment with so many different people? Although you had a lot of friends on the tour.
Yeah, and obviously we played against a lot of those boys in the Six Nations, and even though I was competing against Stephen Jones, who I was competing against in Wales, like Roland O'Gara was amazing. You listen to him now on TV, and as a coach, he's brilliant. But some of his team talks there, I was still a youngster then.
I know.
And I was growing up sort of watching him as a player, and you just sort of in awe of what he's saying. It was just amazing. Paul O'Connell was on the tour, with Driscoll. These sorts of boys.
Natural leaders come out then, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Yeah. But yeah, it was a fantastic experience.
I got to ask you now. I know you're fed up with being asked this question, but Aberafan boy, and you just mentioned what it was like to represent first of all Aberafan, then the Ospreys. The sense of pride that you have been growing up in that area and representing it. How do you feel with what's happening now? And the threat of kind of the no professional or no regional rugby in that area, because I can't believe it really, having played pre-regional rugby, and the area from Bridgend down to Swansea, not having a professional region for me is crazy.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, isn't it? And hopefully that won't be the case. We're still clinging on to a bit of hope, Jeff, for me. But yeah, it's hard to imagine that, especially with the Ospreys, because they're the one region that sort of embraced our regional rugby, aren't they? Yeah. And they are the most successful region, and not to have any rugby in Swansea, the second biggest city, and the plans with St Helens. I know obviously you live in the Mumbles as well, and just the excitement of regional rugby being in St Helens and stuff. I just feel that would have been amazing for the town, and to not have that now going forward. Plus, like you said, being an Aberafan, Port Talbot boy, and we talk about the stuff going on with the steelworks at the moment. It just feels like the heart's being ripped out of the town.
But you coaching the kids as well, and you boys play rugby. I know Harrison plays for the Swansea district as well. How do they feel about it? Because they're the same as us. They want to play for Swansea, or they want to play for Neath. They want to play for Aberafan or Bridgend or Maesteg, and then play for the Ospreys, and then play for Wales. What's it like? What do they say about it? The youngsters now.
Yeah, I think they're all worried naturally, because they want it to be some sort of pathway or clear pathway. And I think that's the problem at the moment. There's nothing clear, is it? No one's coming out and saying definitively this is what's going to happen. So I think we need someone to come out and go, this is how it's going to look. And I do think. We don't know how it's going to look, but I do feel, there will be, pathways and opportunities for the youngsters. I think that's probably one thing everyone agrees on, even the union, that needs to improve. So it's just how it's going to improve, I think, Triffina.
You can't please everyone, right? So some people say, no, there should be 2 regions, 3 regions. Some people are saying there's 4 regions, right? But, you can't. I still think there's a place for 4 regions in Wales, and then if we flood the pathways, then we need somewhere for them to play, to be honest, because I don't think the Super Rugby is kind of working out as successful as people think it is. And I think we've got to and underpin the regional game by making sure that our Super Rugby, is very, very strong. So, for me, it's it would be sad because Neath would give me the opportunity first.
Yeah.
So, and I can't imagine the impact that it would have on on that region. But the other thing is, the supporters didn't really kind of come and watch Ospreys. I think that the Ospreys now have got to engage. If they survive, they have to engage.
Yeah.
Bridgend, Maesteg, Aberavon, Neath, as well as Swansea, I think.
Yeah.
You agree?
All the clubs, yeah, exactly. And going back to when I first sort of was playing for Neath, you know what I mean? Those players from the Ospreys who weren't playing on the weekend for the Ospreys, they would all just filter down to those clubs. And, I know it was a different time back then. There was a lot more money, you had the big influence of Cuddy and all that, So I understand the times have changed now, but that's what helped me as a young player coming through, and that's probably what the young players haven't got now, have they?
Yeah. I know you're back in coaching, James. Tell them what role you're doing.
So I'm in with the Ospreys. So I took a little 6-month sabbatical. I sort of did a bit of sports medical repping, but yeah, I love the coaching, and I'm doing the academy stuff with Andrew Bishop and Paul James and Gareth Williams there, and doing a bit of the
Gareth Williams, yours?
Babs, a back rower.
Oh, I got him. Yeah. So Gareth Williams is. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So yeah, great. I love that. Really enjoy that, and doing the kick-in stuff with the senior boys as well in the Ospreys. So yeah, it's like I'm obviously coaching my boys as well, my three boys. Yeah. So yeah, it's flat out. But
tell them, with that's with Mumbles, isn't it?
With Mumbles.
Who the coach? Mumbles under 16s or 15s? What's he now?
Under 16s now.
Tell them who the coaches are. Mumbles under 16s. Go on.
So yeah, Ryan Jones is down there. With Dwayne Peel's under 15s coach, isn't he?
I know. Coaches, so.
I know. But yeah, Ryan Jones's boy is obviously playing. My boy's playing. Jerry Collins' boy is playing in our under 16s team, and you got Ellis Peel who's in the 15s as well, who's been playing for us for a little bit this year as well.
You're all coaching like international rugby players coaching them. I'm so lucky.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And do you know, I get so much joy out of that on a Sunday, and just the rugby side of it, the social side of it is brilliant.
Yeah, it is. It is. So and. You got a new book coming out as well now? You've been an author.
Yeah, no, just the 2 so far, Jeff. So nothing in the pipeline yet.
Nothing yet?
Yeah, hopefully we'll get another one out there soon.
Well, yeah. I got a quick fire round for you, okay?
Go on.
Here you go. Right, favourite takeaway?
Curry. Yeah,
Indian,
all the family
Indian
like
or
it.
Chinese?
Indian.
Okay. Indian. Worst initiation you had to do?
Flipping heck. Well, back in the day, they were pretty bad, so I probably can't say too much about those ones. But the Aberavon Youth one was basically we have half a cider, half a lager, the neck at pack of scampi fries, half a Guinness, half a lager, pack of scampi fries, and a cider and a lager. And try and keep it down.
That's when the age when you're 17 or 18.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But we had one in Gloucester where you had to drink 7 pints of milk in 20 minutes.
I've seen that one.
Yeah, and but the first year I got it, Richard Ibbard joined as well, didn't he? And obviously he had his long blonde flowing locks, because if you kept the milk down within 20 minutes, you didn't have to have your head shaved, but if you were sick, you had to have your head shaved. But Richard Ibbard came in and he was like, I'm not having this. He went to Billy 12, he's a captain, he was like, I'm not doing it, So basically Billy was like, all right then. So he said, all right then, the age has changed. If you're 26 and under, you have to do it, so I got away with it.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Look, you're not doing that initiation. There we are. So, favourite scrum half you played with?
Oh, that's a controversial one, isn't it? It is difficult to pick one, but I think Dwayne Peel, when I first started playing for Wales, was a fantastic scrum half. I loved playing with Dwayne. And I played a lot of my career with Mike Phillips. Did 2 different type of 9s, but Philsy was right up there as well. It's hard to choose between those 2, to be honest.
I had Terry Holmes, Di Bishop, Robert Jones, Rob Owley, Jonathan Griffiths, Cargan Oyak.
Have you got one favourite?
I can't say. They were different though. They were so different players.
Yeah.
Right? They were unbelievable. They had all different attributes. Right, biggest perk you ever had in your rugby career?
OK Magazine paid for a wedding.
Yeah, that's a good perk.
That was a nice little perk. I used to love all like the Adidas sponsorship and stuff. And when we were in Paris, we had like I think about €3,000 to spend in the Adidas shop, like cost price now. So like boots usually cost like over £100, well like probably 20 quid. I couldn't spend it. I was coming out there. We were playing France on a Friday night. We went there on a Friday morning, was coming out there with LA Galaxy Beckham shirt with tennis rackets and darts a lot.
Crazy, isn't it? That is crazy. So, best holiday destination?
Probably a skiing holiday now. Since I've retired, obviously you can ski now, so that's a great family holiday, something the 5 of us can do.
I know, it's brilliant. Who's always the first of the buffet after the game? Well, you had a few candidates in the Ospreys and Wales.
Yeah. Richard Ibbard probably.
Is it before Adam Jones?
Well, it was neck and neck, to be honest.
Biggest thing that annoys you?
When you wait for someone to come through a space with a car, and they don't wave.
Oh, that's another one, yeah.
It winds me up.
That's another one as well. So, best jersey you swapped at the end of a match?
Probably 2006 was a nice one. I like Matt Gitto, Commonwealth Games. So played sevens, Commonwealth Games, and Matt Gitto he was playing with Australia, 15-a-side team, but he sort of dropped down playing the sevens, and I thought it was a unique shirt. I got it. A couple like Sonny Bill Williams, another one. Some great. Nice. Contepomi, the one I mentioned earlier. But I think that one is sort of a one-off, It
is a nice one.
Yeah.
It is a nice one.
Yeah.
Last thing you bought online?
Kim does all the shopping online. The Christmas jumper, I think it was. for the team social.
Went to Peacocks for that one, man.
Was it?
Yeah, I know. And the last one, worst bit of sledging you had on the pitch?
I think Ron O'Gara. I think I bigged him up really early on, but what did he say to me? He said that my first game for Wales against Ireland, he was like, he was into me all game. He was constantly into me, but he was like, why didn't you just F off back to the lower leagues where you belong? He kept saying. I was like, I looked up to you, man. I was hoping he'd be nice to me. But I saw him on the Lions tour, and he brought it up to me, and we were brilliant. We got on well after that.
That's all fun and games.
Yeah.
Brilliant. James, lucky boy.
Jeff,
good to see you, boy. Pleasure. Thanks for coming on, boy.
Pleasure. Thank you.
If you enjoyed this episode, there's plenty more content on the Jonathan X YouTube page. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.